Today's video is about portable lights. Let's get into it. Hi everybody, today's video is about portable lights. I've got a selection of lights here that I'm going to talk you through, and I use these for both stills and video, but each of them are designed for a different purpose. So let's look at each one of them. A bit of background, if you're not familiar with my YouTube channel, I make a lot of landscape photography vlogs, which inevitably means that I'm out before the sun has come up and I'm out also filming after the sun has gone down. So I do need to supplement my videos with some off-camera lighting, and sure, cameras are getting better and better at low light. However, they will all struggle to focus in low light, and there's no substitute for having light, because I'm sure your audience wants to see your face in your videos. If you were filming at sunset and you've got a beautiful red sky happening behind you, then if you were to expose for your subject, it's probably you, then the sky would be completely overexposed. So you might use off-camera light to balance out the exposure between your subject and the background. So that's another good reason why you might want some additional lighting. I don't want to wish time away, but summer is nearly finished, winter is on its way, and this is the time of year where I use off-camera lighting more than any other time of the year. I've used these lights for a variety of different purposes, some of them to light me, others to light the background, others to light objects which I'm light painting or creating a thumbnail for my YouTube videos. Here's an example of an Insta360 Go 2 thumbnail that I created using the Pixar Pro wrist light, which I'll get into in a second. If you're interested in light painting as well, I've created 2 videos about the pixel stick with my friend John Reese-White, so I'll put a link in the description and up the top. If you're really into your light painting, I think that is definitely a gadget you'll enjoy. At the moment, I've got a large studio light in a softbox up there, and I've got a secondary LED panel over there. Throughout the video, what I'll do is I'll switch these off so that you can see how bright these are in comparison to one another. These are not replacing studio lights. Most of them will fit in your pocket or your camera bag. These have got a different purpose. Right, let's talk about them in the order that I bought them. So this is the Lume Cube 2.0. It's the second iteration. I reviewed this a few years ago on my channel. I'll put the link up here. If you hold down the button, it switches on and you've got control over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It goes up in power in 10% increments. On the underside, you've got a 1/4 inch thread, so you could fix it to something like a Manfrotto Pixie, which is good if you're looking to just set it down somewhere or have some simple lighting. Other cool features of this, it is 100% waterproof. This can go down to 10 meters. It's not just splash proof, this is fully waterproof. It has, that's the Lume Cube itself, and then it's got this mount attachment that goes on the front, and supplied in the kit that I was given, it's got a magnetic diffuser, so that goes on the front there, and you can combine that with a warm filter. So straight out the box, it's daylight balanced. It's got a rubber flap on the back. You open that and it's got USB-C, so it's got an internal battery. The instruction manual said it will last up to an hour and a half. I've used it for about an hour on full power, and I can safely say it heats up. I mean, it's not dangerously hot, but it gets almost too hot to hold. It's also got another special feature. If you're into astrophotography, then you obviously don't want a bright light. Even on 10%, this is still very, very bright. If you hold down both of the buttons, then the light actually goes down to 1%. Now, if you're in the pitch black, that would probably be quite helpful. Otherwise, it's completely useless. But that is the special astro photography tool that they've added to this. This has also got Bluetooth built in, so I've connected it to the app very quick. I've not used this app in ages, and literally just connected first time, and I can just slide this up and down. I can control to the percentage exactly how bright I want this to be. It also has some strobing effects, constant flash mode, so you can take a picture and it will essentially flash. So it's actually got quite a few features once you benefit from the Bluetooth and using an iPhone. Now, what I do like about this, if you were to be heading out into a storm and you know you're going to get rained on, you could take this and you could take a GoPro, and you know that both of those will survive. None of the other lights here are waterproof, but the Lume Cube. The only bad thing I've got to say about the Lume Cube is the fact that it's cube shaped. It doesn't exactly fit in your pocket. It will, but it's uncomfortable, and it'll probably end up in your camera bag instead. So if you're looking to pick up one of these, they retail for $89. They are very tricky to find in the UK, so you might end up paying import tax like I did. Now this is the next light that I spent my hard-earned money on, and it's also made by Lume Cube. This is the Mini. Now I've got loads of stats on it here. It comes in a rubber shell, which is a diffuser. We'll come back to that in a second. Now this is made up of 60 LEDs. It's got a white balance range from 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin, and it's got a CRI accuracy of 96, which, if you're not familiar with that, that's the accuracy of the color of the light that it's giving off, 100% being the best possible. This tiny little panel here benefits from 2 threads, which is impressive considering its size actually. So on the front, obviously you've got all of the LEDs. This is on 1% right now. If I flip it round, there's a small LCD panel in the corner, gives you all of the vital information. You've got the battery remaining in a percentage, as well as this says 15 hours it's going to last at 1%. You've also got the white balance, so it says 5600 Kelvin, and if I start to pump that up, then you'll see that's 100%. So that's 5600 Kelvin. This is at 65% at the moment, and then I'll drop the color temperature and you'll see that it's getting warmer. And it's as simple as that, really easy to use. So you've got the USB-C charging input there, you've got a dial which allows you to increase the power and change the white balance, and you've also got the main power button. That's quite a harsh light in your face. As soon as you put the diffuser on it and all of the buttons and everything is still completely accessible, it becomes a much softer light source. In terms of battery life, 1.2 hours on full power, or 14 hours at 1% its lowest power. So that is not bad at all. I don't actually have to charge this up very often at all. This is the Lume Cube Mini. They also make a Lume Cube Panel Go and also a Panel Pro. And the main differences being the battery and the power output. Some of them have less and some of them have more LEDs. But I never use this on 100% for filming myself, so just depends what the purpose is, but I'm very happy with the Lume Cube Mini. Yeah, the light itself was $60. I ended up paying $22 shipping, and I don't know if import tax was added on top of that, so very tricky to find in the UK. That's the only problem with this. Now if you're looking for something similar to the Lume Cube panel but with more features, then take a look at the Aputure MC. I don't have one because I've got other products that do very similar things, but if you're looking to spend a bit more money, £110 on Amazon, it will get you the Aputure MC, which has got bi-colour, which is the warm and the cool light, as well as RGB, which is any color you want essentially. Now it says here that the Aputure MC is 400 lux at 0.5 meter. I don't know why they complicate things. They give you how many watts it is and the lux as well. So it makes it difficult to compare all of these different lights. But once you get your head around it, the Aputure MC is 400 lux and the Lume Cube Mini that I have is 550 lux at the same distance. So essentially, this is half the price of the Aputure MC, but it's more powerful, less features. So you just got to figure out what you need. If you need more power, then you might want to get the Lume Cube. If you want more features, then you get the Aputure MC. Now these next lights are by a company called Spiff-Y Gear. There are 2 different types. This one is the bi-colour, so it's cool and warm, and then you get the RGB, which is actually coloured. So I'll start with the bi-colour one. You've got 3 buttons on here. It's rubberized. At the moment I've got it straight, but it bends around your wrist. So you can either carry it on your wrist, or what I like to do is I'm actually lifting up my arm and I'm lighting up my face whilst I'm filming myself. So this is actually out of frame, but now I've got a free hand to carry a tripod or something else like that. The settings that this gives you, very straightforward actually. All of the gadgetry and the charging and the battery and the small computer, whatever is in here, is all in the end section. First one, press it and it controls the power output. Second one is essentially your white balance. So you just scroll through them. It goes, that's the coolest, and then that's the warmest, and then all the bits in between. Okay, and then you've got the RGB one. So I'll just hold down the left hand button and then I'll click it 5 times, so that's on the maximum power now. It's a bit deceiving how bright this is because I've got a big studio light. In reality, it's actually quite bright. So you've got red, then you've got blue, and you've got green. But if I wanted to go back to red, the 3rd button, it opens up lots of different colors. What I've primarily been using these for is I've been using the bicolor to light myself for my personal and my YouTube videos. I've been using the RGB one for creating funky looking light painting and thumbnails and creative stuff like that. Now the bicolor, it's got a white balance variation from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin, and it's got a CRI rating of 95%, which is also very good. You can see both of these are magnetic, which is quite handy because when I've been out shooting landscape videos, I actually stick that to the side of my car, lamppost, wherever is convenient. Alternatively, just wrap that around your wrist and then you can take it with you. Sweet. Now there seems to be an ongoing theme here. These are very difficult to get hold of in the UK again. I bought them directly from Spiff-Y Gear. These are $45 each and I had to pay import tax and $10 shipping. So light companies, please start keeping stuff in the UK. Help us out a little bit. Anyway, that's the Spiff-Y Gear. Now you've probably been watching this video thinking, when's he going to talk about this one? Well, this is next up. This is the Falconeyes Irisa 1. Now the company reached out to me and they said, Ben, would you be interested in reviewing the light? I said, yes, I'm curious because I've got quite a few portable lights, but I've got studio lights and I've got very portable lights, but I've not got anything in the middle. So I was just curious to see what that might add to the feature set. Now this is the Irisa 1. They make an Irisa 2, but quite simply, it's just twice the size. Now obviously, this is not going to fit into your pocket, but it can be portable. It's definitely going to fit in your camera bag, but it does have a tripod mount on both ends. So once again, you could put it on something like the Manfrotto Pixie. You could put it on a full-size tripod if you were out and you needed it at eye level. If you wanted to be hands-free, you could use it on something like a Black Rapid and it would just be by your side whilst you're walking. Now, out of all of the lights that have been in this video, this has got the widest white balance variation. So at the moment this is at 2500 Kelvin, and if I just hold this button down, it's going to go all the way up to 9999 Kelvin, which is cold. Midday is 5600 Kelvin, so this is blue. This is on the blue end of the spectrum. So quite a significant white balance variation. It's also got a CRI of 96, so once again, the highest, matching the Lume Cube panel. You've got the main tube panel on the front, and if I turn it around, you can see I've got 5 buttons here. You've got the power button, which is a red one, and then you've got different buttons to increase or decrease the power or cycle through the different settings. There's also a handy little LCD screen here, which gives you enough information in terms of battery life, the intensity, the white balance, and which mode you're in. The light itself comes in this really nice case. Inside you get some instructions which are so badly translated they won't help you at all, but the good thing is it's got an app that comes with it and there's a QR code inside. So you scan that, you install the app, it's called DESAL, D-E-S-A-L, and the app is brilliant. So when you first turn this on, if you look through all the menus, it's got so many features, you won't know where to start and you'll get a bit lost. But the app is the saving grace of this light. So if you're looking to do anything other than brightness or white balance, then you need to use the app. To give you an idea of the power, that's 1% power. And then that's 100% power. I've kept the camera settings the same throughout this entire video. Everything is constant, and you can see that that is by far the brightest light out of everything here. Let's connect it to the app. Okay, so once you've got the app open, it is really intuitive. You can just literally hit one of the Kelvin ratings, so that's 2800, or you can click on 7000. You can increase the brightness. Alternatively, it's got a colour wheel on it, so you can literally just pick a colour. You want it to be green, you want it to be red. It's also got lots of features. Now, if you wanted to do something quirky like lightning, I don't know when you might have a need for these things, but they're on here if you want them. If you want to make it look like you've got a TV in the background from your scene, then you could just put this in the background, and this is what it looks like to have a TV. I think Party 2 might be my favourite. You get the idea. Loads of different features. Another really cool feature of the app is it's got like a colour picker, so I could pick up this green duster, take a picture of it, and then this matches the colour of that. Don't know if that's going to come across on camera. Take a picture of my jeans. That is a nice feature if you're trying to just colour match something. They are the features about this light that I really like. Now the reason this is so much brighter than all of the other lights here, first of all it's much bigger, it's got bigger batteries, but it's actually got 94 LEDs in it, which is a combination of white, yellow and RGB. It's got on the ends mini XLR ports. It's not something I would use, but I believe you can connect these to other lights and therefore kind of control them all remotely. This is also magnetic, so that is a cool feature. If you're ever using magnetic lights or anything magnetic, you can see here, that's not a metal wall, that's just a corner plasterboarded. So that's a handy feature if you're ever trying to film yourself indoors. Just look for any corner in a house where the walls are plastered, there's a metal angle bead in the corner, and the magnets in that light are strong enough to hold its own weight just. Now this product is feature packed and it's got a diffuse light over it and it gives off a good quality of light, and as you can see it's got loads of power. What I don't like about this is the build quality. Unfortunately it is made of plastic, and because of its size the plastic does have a bit of give in it. I'm not suggesting that this should be made out of glass because it become too fragile and too heavy, probably too expensive, but I think that the thickness of the plastic should just be increased a bit, because £149 is a lot of money. You are getting a lot more features and a lot more power than these other lights here, but these are £50, £100, and this is £150. If you spend a few £100s, then you get a very powerful studio light or a battery powered light. So this is kind of in the middle. It's portable, but it's not. This isn't going to replace any studio lights, but it could be a really good secondary light. So I could actually just do away with this secondary LED panel here and just have this. So that would be a good use for it. So £149, it's not cheap, but it's also not expensive. As I said earlier, the numbers are a bit confusing, but essentially the Irisa One is 13 watts and the Lume Cube Mini is 5 watts. That equates to 890 lux and 550 lux. How much power do you need whilst on the go? That's the decision you need to make, which sort of light you should be investing in. I'm gonna switch off all of the lights. I'm gonna keep that light on so that the camera can focus on me, and then I'll just show you how bright each light is. That's the Spiff-Y Gear Bicolor Full Power Arm's Reach. This is an ISO 100 f1.6. So you can imagine if I were to push up the ISO, this is going to be plenty bright enough. The Spiff-Y Gear Color one does not give off as much light, but this is kind of like a feature light that you'll probably do some light painting with anyway. That's the Lume Cube Full Power at arm's length without the diffuser. That's the Lume Cube with the diffusion panel at arm's reach, full power. Lume Cube Mini, full power, arm's reach. And that's the same light again, but with the diffusion panel on. So this is the Irisa tube panel, full power, arm's reach, with the built-in diffuser. There you go, I'm all out of portable lights. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.